Twice in my life I've used the Ouija board. The first time I did it, it didn't seem to work that well at all. And there was one person in the group who I was certain was moving the glass. I couldn't prove it, but I had my doubts. Also, the answers to the questions didn't make sense. A few years later, I decided to play with the Ouija board again with friends. I observed the other guys to see if they were messing with the glass at all, but throughout the entire session the movement was fluid and precise. I was surprised that there was a supernatural entity interacting with us throughout this entire session. We started off basically asking if there were any spirits available to speak to us, and when we got a yes, we introduced ourselves and asked it if it wouldn't mind speaking to us for a bit longer. Another yes. We apologized for intruding and made it clear that the spirit did not have to answer any questions it didn't want to. The spirit we were speaking to was a soldier killed in 1984, and he was from Yemen. He enjoyed the afterlife and made it very clear that death was not the end, and there was nothing for us to fear in the afterlife. He said the concept of heaven and hell were untrue. He also said reincarnation was possible. I then remember asking if it was a Buddhist style of reincarnation, to which we received a yes/no. I interpreted that as a sort of. After all of this, we then decided to wrap things up, having already had our mind blown away by what we've just experienced. We said thanks to the spirit and wished it all the best. We also waited for the spirit to say goodbye to us, and that was it. I walked out of the room with a strange feeling of bewilderment and yet also an enormous relief. If what the spirit said was true and I had no reason to believe it was lying to us intentionally, then death was almost something to look forward to. I considered myself a pure atheist up until this point, but this one night rattled that belief so hard that I no longer consider myself as such. I will always have the memory of my Yemeni friend to prove otherwise. Just some months ago, I was with my boyfriend who is also interested in the occult, and we decided to use a Ouija board just to see what might come up. It started off with the general questions, and we were getting feedback very quickly. I'm a believer, but also a skeptic. I'd be upset if my partner was moving the planchette intentionally, so I made sure he wasn't. Anyway, I can't remember what led to this, but at some point, whatever spirit we were in contact with mentioned wanting to speak to my boyfriend directly. So I asked, what about him? Because my boyfriend didn't answer. And the spirit spelled out, cheat. I was a little confused. Jokingly, I asked, cheating with who? As I teased my boyfriend, implying he's cheating on me. The board then spelled out the name of a woman, who I didn't know at the time. My boyfriend's face went white, and he explained that this is the name of his ex. I was skeptical and angry at my boyfriend. I should have left him then, because it was true, and I figured out that he was sleeping with her for a while. I found out later another thing. The spirit spelled out that I was pregnant with a girl at the time. Somehow, and after a while later, I found out that I was, and that blew me away to say the least. I now believe in Ouija boards.